I'm Mark Dossett, and this is my wife Karen, and we have been members at Eastview for a long time and actually enjoyed the support of Eastview when we were in Vienna, Austria for about 14 years working among refugees.
And there we met a wonderful lady. Her name was Faiza, and we got the privilege of just getting to know her as we worked there with refugees. And her story is an amazing story. She was actually a young girl and living in her country, and she was an apprentice to a seamstress there. And the seamstress was actually a Christian lady, and our friend Faiza, a Muslim. And so as she would go to this seamstress and get lessons, she would hear about the Bible and hear stories about Jesus.
Yeah, and at first she was actually kind of offended, you could say, very resistant, because as a Muslim she felt like, well, our religion is superior. I'm not sure why you're talking to me about Jesus and Christianity. But honestly, as she had the Bible given to her and was reading about Jesus in the Bible, she got more and more interested, and it drew her in. And actually then one day when she was reading in the Gospel of Matthew at the end of the evening and she was going to bed, Jesus Christ appeared to her in a vision, and he said, "I have chosen you."
Yeah, and of course, as you might guess, that didn't go over very well with her family. She was persecuted in ways where she felt fearful for her life. She used to tell me that she would put her hands over fire just to be able to toughen them up just in case there would be a problem like that.
But there came a point when the persecution really got intense, life-threatening, really, and so she had to become a refugee. And that involves, as you might hear in the news today, false passports, a lot of money to be paid to smugglers, and a lot of danger as well. But she made that journey because she needed to get out and be free, and on account of her own children, she wanted to have freedom from the persecution that she was suffering. Think of it as a single woman with a child traveling over hills and mountains and through the forests and with smugglers and throughout different countries where you don't know the language. And through all of that, then at the end, she got close to Austria, and so the final surprising aspect of the story is that she got put in the car trunk with her son, and they had to drive her across the borders, hoping that it wouldn't be checked. The smuggler probably paid the guards, and they didn't check the trunk, and they got her to a spot where there's some missionaries in a place near Vienna, and the car pulled up, and the smuggler got out of the door and came to the back and opened it up, and there is the beautiful smiling face of Faiza. And if you could see her face, you would see why we're smiling, because her eyes just sparkle, and she's a beautiful woman, beautiful Christian woman, and there she is in the trunk, stuffed in there, safely across the border. And she knows now, because the trunk's been opened, that she's safe, and she can now start her life and won't have fear of persecution or fear of danger.
Mm-hmm. So it was about the second day that we arrived in Austria that we met Faiza, and right away we knew she was like this fireball of ministry. She just was busy translating in Bible studies. She took us right away to refugee housing, and there were Bible studies going on in the different buildings. And then she was also leading out in the music. She had a beautiful voice to sing worship songs, and really helped us to get involved in the ministry.
It's amazing to think about how she bloomed where she was planted, right? I mean, you think of a person leaving their home country and doing it under duress and having to really to flee for their life, and then yet having the faith and trust in God that when he planted her in Austria, he helped her learn the German language, he helped her find a job as a single mother, providing for her family, and in the midst of all that, still thinking outward, still thinking of other people. So she's an inspiration to us, and we also think that her story, although there's some miraculous aspects to it for sure, and maybe not everyone enjoys those on such a regular basis as Faiza did, but still, we're all aliens. We're all still strangers in this world, and this isn't our home. And we can get inspiration from Faiza to think about how she trusted God and how he was so faithful and used her over many years, over 30 years in fruitful ministry, and she's still going strong.